Hi guys, let's talk about 5 key differences between authoritarian and democratic systems. As we know, these last years, the democracy level is decreasing as the authoritarian tendencies are gaining strength. So let's talk about 5 differences between democratic and authoritarian states that everyone should know. The difference number 1 is the rule of law. Rule of law is a rule that says that no one is above the law. In democracy, there is a rule of law. No one is above the law. Whether you are a politician, police officer, priest or prosecutor, or I don't know, judge, everyone is equal before the law. This is in democracy. For example, before the democracy, when there was a monarchy in Europe, the king was above the law. The king could state that from now on, all animals in woods belong to king, and everyone will be executed if he will kill animal in the woods. That was Robin Hood times. So king decided, new law, he stated the law, the king was the law, and he was above the law. He could kill people, he could take the ownership of other people. In the medieval times, kings were above the law. After that, there was Magna Carta signed, and Magna Carta stated that there is a rule of law. From now on, no one, even the king, is not above the law. And that's how it is in democratic systems. So you can sue a police officer, you can sue even a prosecutor or even a judge or even a politician, because everyone is equal in the eyes of the law. On the other hand, in authoritarian systems, there is a law, of course. So there is a law that you cannot steal, you cannot kill other people, but there are people who are above the law. People who are dictators, oligarchs, politicians are people who are above the law. The law is being used selectively for citizens. So you can sue like other citizens, but you cannot sue politicians, you cannot sue dictator, you cannot sue oligarchs, for example, because they are above the law. This is first key main difference between authoritarian systems and the difference number 2, free media. In democracies, we have free media, which are actually very, very important. And there's a saying that media is like fourth governance. So media in democracies watch every day if politicians, I don't know, policemen, prosecutors, judges, and all the citizens are obeying the law. Are they acting fairly? Are they acting according to law? Free media in democratic systems are very important. There are institutions in democracies that are watching and taking care that the media in this countries, democratic countries, are free. So free media in democracies are like fourth power, very, very important. The journalism, the reporting, the watching, keeping track of what the politicians did, of what politicians said, is it according to the law, etc. On the other hand, in authoritarian systems, there are no free media. In authoritarian countries, media are used as politicians' tube of their own narrative, of their own propaganda. The media in autocratic systems are used to keep people in power. Media are used to say to the citizens that the rulers are great, they are doing fantastic, the country is beautiful, and we have great economy. So in authoritarian systems, the media are used as propaganda to keep rulers in power. You cannot critique the rulers in media, media cannot report the truth, and media actually are only telling mostly lies about what's happening in the country, portraying rulers as fantastic, as people who are doing great job, so that they can stay in power. free media. We have them in democracies. They do not have them in authoritarian countries like North Korea, Russia, or China. The difference number 3, democratic elections. In democratic countries, we have democratic elections. It is like basic process of democratic countries, so that every citizen has the right to go and vote for their representatives. On the other hand, in the authoritarian countries, there is a lie that is told to citizens that they are democratic countries. So, for example, most of authoritarian countries today have elections, but those elections are not fair, and always the ruling party wins. That's how it is like in Russia today. That's how it is like in China today. I don't know actually if they have elections, but every 4 years we hear that there were elections in Russia, so the citizens are being told that yeah, you live in democratic country, but the ruler got like 95% of the votes. So in authoritarian countries, the citizens are being lied that they live in democratic countries, but the elections are just being used just to ensure people that the ruler is great because he got like 90% of the votes. The difference number 4, transparency. The democracy is based on transparency. In democratic countries, everything should be transparent, so all the citizens have the right to check all the laws that were stated by the House of the Representatives. In democracies, you can check how much the politician is earning. In democracy, everything should be transparent. Like even knowledge. In democracies, you can learn. The knowledge is transparent. The history is transparent. All the processes are transparent. Most of the House of Representatives meetings are transparent, and you can actually watch them. On the other hand, in authoritarian countries, everything is hidden from citizens. They cannot see what's happening behind the walls. So democracy has a rule of transparency. It is like ethical rule. In democracy, we should move towards more transparency all the time. What decisions were made, why those decisions were made. You can interview, talk with the people, ask them more questions. On the other hand, in the authoritarian countries, it's better not to ask. Everything is hidden, and in time more hidden before the citizens. So the democratic rule is transparency, and authoritarian tendency is to hide everything from citizens. And the 5th difference is in democracies we have division of powers. We have judicial system, executive system, and legislative system. Those 3 powers are independent of each other, so that you can sue a politician, and politicians are watching on the hands of the judges, for example, so that no one breaks the law. In authoritarian systems, there is no division of powers. There is impression that there is division of powers, so there is just an impression for the citizens. But actually, judicial system, executive system, and legislative system is all in the hands of the rulers. For example, I don't know, oligarchs or dictator. So there is only impression that for the citizens that yeah, you have independent judges. But if, for example, dictator wants to sue some journalist and give him a sentence of 10 years, he will do that despite that it is against the law, which is happening all the time, for example, in authoritarian countries. Okay, guys, that was 5 key differences between democratic systems and authoritarian systems that everyone should know, and everyone should care about the democracy, because it is declining these years. See you on my channel, and please check 8 reasons why Donald Trump is a threat to democracy video on my channel. Hey,